Hey, it's Michael Saul, but everybody calls me Tiny, and this video is coiled and ready to move, plus a stock for a possible 3-day hold. This is stock market analysis for the week of August 7th, 2017. If you would like to receive intra-week updates from me, go to www.attackthemarkets.com, put your first name and best email address in the spaces provided, and hit the sign me up button. Then go to the email you used to sign up and look for an email from me. Click on the link in that email so you confirm that you actually want to receive emails from me, and you'll automatically start receiving them. Okay? Great. Let's take a look at the market. So, coiled up and ready to move. Best way to put it here. Look at the S&P. A lot of overlapping candles, a lot of narrow consolidation, coiled up. I still think we're getting to 250 here. Does not look like a sell signal to me. Does not look like, there's some churn. So there's always, of course, concern when there's churn at highs that there may be a battle up here and the sellers may wind up winning. But, I mean, still in a very strong uptrend. And, maybe some signs of caution. But I've been talking about signs of caution for several months here. We've been up for, what are we going on, 8 years now, whatever it is. So it's always a good idea when the market gets extended to trail stops and lock in profits as the market moves. That doesn't mean that you stop and reverse, or it doesn't mean that it's a sell signal. All right, but again, it's coiled here. I think the coil releases to the upside, but wait for confirmation. See if we can get above 248. 250 would be the next stop, and then 250, 240 would be the next resistance for the SPY. On support, you do have the 20 EMA and then the 50-day simple moving average right here. Then you have horizontal previous resistance became support right here. So it's a nice number down here at 240. That's if it starts to pull back. Okay, so that's the S&P 500. The Dow, not coiled. The Dow is just stretched here. And this is one concern that perhaps we could be due for a pullback because, I mean, look at this. Look how stretched we are here. Again, not a sell signal, but hey, maybe we want to pause volatility and movement in the equity markets tend to be mean reverting. So this is extended here and not saying that it can't rotate back down. So that's now the Dow doesn't lead, but it's absolutely something to pay attention to. Here's the Russell. So the Russell, which did its best to get out of this channel here, is right back inside it now. Again, a sell signal, no, but not a strong conviction buy signal either. Again, I'm not looking to short it here, but until we can clear this and really start moving higher, I mean, look, I got a great question on this, and that's why I'm talking a little bit more on the Russell here. But, we have been having higher highs and higher lows, but there's no impulse here. So, again, you don't just short this because there's no impulse, but this is not really the signs of a strong trend as far as this leg is concerned. Obviously, from back here, it's very strong. We've had a really nice move here. So I'm not saying that, the Russell is weak. Relatively speaking, though, it's not as strong as the broad market. The mid-caps look basically the same, maybe a little bit stronger than the Russell. And then you got the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is also coiled up here. Okay, I thought I had these lines drawn in ahead of time, but I didn't. So I want to see if the Nasdaq will release here. Also, you had the Doji on Friday. That is what's known as an indecision candle, right? People are like, well, which way did we go? I mean, overall, it was a real choppy week. So let's see if we could start this next week off and see if we can get a push to the upside. Again, got to wait for confirmation. We could easily pull back here. The 50-day is not that far away. We have a gap fill a little bit farther down. Nothing saying that we have to go up. Just my opinion, that's how it looks. But I'm also trying to be crystal clear. You have to wait for confirmation. Let's look at some of the indices. Semiconductors, not acted so well. I mean, so far it hasn't really affected the Nasdaq that bad, although who knows where the Nasdaq would be if the semiconductors were strong. Look at Clad Tanker, below the 200-day moving average for the first time in a while. Okay, since in at least a year here. NVIDIA acting better. Intel acting better. Okay, so Intel was sloppy for a while, but this had a nice little impulse up here to the upside above the moving averages. See if this can get a coil from here. Here's ADI. Looks like it's headed to the 200-day moving average out of its triangle. Again, I don't think it's a sell signal, but ever since this reversal up here hasn't really been doing much on the upside. It hasn't done anything on the upside except some corrective bounces here. Okay, the banks. Banks looked okay last week. Right now, sitting right here at resistance. Looks like it's in a consolidation. See if this consolidation releases. See if we can get up to the 100 mark. Here's Bank of America. Here's Citigroup acting strong. Here's JP Morgan. Again, I mean, I don't like these inverted hammers here. It looks like, hey, look, we're going to try to push us, but nah, not really. Yeah, sure, up 1.25%, but yeah, I mean, definitely into some a little bit of inventory up there that wound up pushing it down. Definitely have to pay attention to that. Here's Bank of New York. Okay, again with a doji. They're not sell signals, but they're not. Oh, look at this, super strong candles. Here's Zion. Creeping its way up, and here's Northern Trust, which held the 200-day pretty nicely. How about the broker-dealer index? So the broker-dealer index consolidating up here, looking stronger than the banks. Here's Goldman. So Goldman was hanging around, threatening to close below the 200-day moving average and actually staying there. It did so for whatever this was, a week and a half, whatever it is. Now it's back up above it. Let's see if it can catch some accumulation days, catch some buying interest, and see if Goldman can get a bounce. Again, no use guessing at it, but good to pay attention to it. There's Morgan leading the way there as far as broker-dealers. How about the bios? Let's look at the XBI for the Spider, the Spider XBX, the S&P Biotech. There we go. Nice little rotation off that 50-day moving average, but so far hasn't done that great. Let's see if it can keep going here. Look at Labu, which is the leveraged. Okay, and Labu had the higher high here, but this was divergent up here. Now came back to the 50-day. See if it can get a bounce going there. How about the Nasdaq side, the IBB? Okay, pull back here. Let's see if that can get going as well. How about Gilead? Yeah, so Gilead, who had been in the tank, I haven't been looking at this one, but Gilead, who had been in a strong downtrend, popped up over the 200, came back, kissed the 20 EMA, and then got the nice bounce here. See what it's going to do there. Let's look at Caterpillar. Wow, nice consolidation up at the highs. See if that can keep going. John Deere, it's creeping, but again, no sell signal there. Look at some of the glamour stocks. So here's Amazon, where they're all, Bezos, richest guy in the world for a couple of hours. Okay, I'm sure he really doesn't care. I'm sure he's really not in a contest with Gates. But since that day, you can see here we're consolidating and we're under 1,000. So what's going to happen? Are we going to continue this pullback, or can we pivot from here? Right now, it's wait and see, in my opinion, but should be seeing a move sooner rather than later. Apple looking okay, may need a couple more days of consolidation. What about like a Baidu? Right, look at this Baidu, a nice push off the 200-day moving average. See if this consolidates from here. Alphabet, sloppy more than anything. Netflix, pulling back after hitting the high. Let's see if it can hold the area of the 200-day and get a rotation back. Here's Facebook. Looks similar, right? Nice pop up, pull back. Let's see if it rotates from here and can try to head to 200. Oil consolidating between the 50 and the 200 day. If so, let's grab some trend lines. If this releases one way or the other, you got the 50-day below, you got the 200-day above. Here's gold. So gold looked like it was trying to get off its butt here. So far it's pulling back. Not saying this is a sell signal here. Let's see if it can hold that support. Here's GDX. Looked like it wanted to at least try to get to 24, but no good. Now it's back down below the moving averages here. And finally bonds. Yeah, bonds looking like it's they're trying to get going here. I believe Greenspan came out and talked about how bonds were going to go lower, historical levels here, and bonds are going to go lower, therefore interest rates are going to rise, and of course he opens his mouth and what happened? Bonds wind up going the other way, right? So you always have to pay attention to that kind of stuff, right? So recap, looks like we are coiled. Looks like we're ready for another move. I believe it's going to be the upside, but I'm going to let the price do the talking. So it has to break and hold above 248, at least on the S&P. Nasdaq has different numbers here we want to watch. It looks like above, 144, and a hold above there, right? But if it goes the other way, then you got the 20, the 50, and then 240 as support on the S&P. You got the Nasdaq, you got the 50-day right here, and then you got this gap fill at around 139.30s, whatever it is. So that's what we're watching. Stock to watch for a potential 3-day hold is Alnylam. I'm probably butchering that name, but pharmaceuticals, but the symbol is ALNY. Now, why only a few days? Well, it reports earnings on August 9th, and I am not a fan of holding over earnings. You can do whatever you want. It's your money, but this is coiled up, and it does have, I mean, look at this move since November of 16. Basically $30 to in the 80s. Really nice move here, and it is in a triangle / coil, more of a coil in a triangle. If this releases to the upside, could get a nice push. Even ahead of earnings, this could be worth a couple of points. So up to you if you're trading it with in a different fashion with a derivative, or if you're deciding that you want to hold it over earnings. Like I said, that is completely up to you. It's your money. You can risk it however you see fit. Questions, tiny@attackthemarkets.com. Join the email list so you get my intra-week updates. Have a great week, and I'll speak with you soon.